Hey, it's Charlie again, and the other day I got an email from my friend Carrie out in Montana. She's running an Empower program for people with SCIs, and she asks about camping solutions, specifically trailers. So today we're going to run a whole thing on a little trailer that we built here at the shop and give you the full rundown. To begin with, you need to look at what's your tow vehicle. Me, I've got a Toyota Sienna, tow capacity of 3,500 pounds. So the trailer build came in at 1,800 pounds, giving me another 1,600 pounds to play with. The total cost of the trailer was 9,100. There are things that you can do to lower that price. For one, you don't need the fancy wheel package at $800. And there was a beaver tail that I added to the project. This beaver tail that I had put in for $500 slopes down maybe an inch, inch and a half. You really can't even notice it. So I would save you $500 and forget the beaver tail. Track tie-down system that's in there was rather expensive for what it does, and I really haven't used it, even though it's made flush to the floor in the center. Just put the tie-downs wherever the heck you want them and use them that way. It's a lot cheaper. So what did I put in this thing? One, windows on both sides and the skylights. That added $500 to the cost. I put in a 30 amp circuit. That's two separate 15 circuits for the plugins at campgrounds. That was another $500 over the 15 amp cycle. So if you don't want to use that, I bought it and built it for two heating units, which I thought I might need, but it proves that one 1,500 watt heater is enough to heat the trailer plenty hot. So you may not want to go with a 30 amp circuit and outdoor outings. What do you call those things? The sockets outside. But other than that, the V-nose on the front was part of the 500. That I really want, and I really believe you should have. That adds 3 feet of interior space in the V. And as you'll see, that's my entire kitchen area. So having said that, there's some things you can cut out. You really don't need to spend the money on. The other $900, if we want to talk about $10,000 total, comes in a refrigerator, $300, air conditioner, $180, let's call it $200. Cabinets from the reuse store. Probably spent about, I'm going to say $200 on those. They were about $30 each. And then there's miscellaneous hanging things that you'll want. Come on in. Let's have a little look around. Okay, let's talk about the front end of the trailer. We put in a countertop, Home Depot, $110. So this is obviously something you're going to have to cut and fit. Sink was free from the recycle center. You got all your regular stuff: Keurig for coffee, microwave, refrigerator. One thing on the fridge. We're probably going to change the hinges on this and make the door open the other way, but put little clasps on this. They're from a briefcase, so this will be able to just lock your door when you travel. You don't want your doors opening up and your eggs all over the floor while you're bouncing down the road. That's about it for the front end. Got cabinets with all your stuff in it, and these are from the reuse store. They were $30 a piece. A little medicine chest with a lock on it too. This kept opening up. Get yourself a little swivel faucet on that. Pretty self-explanatory. You'll want to insulate the ceiling. It came with the particle board siding, which was plenty of insulation since there's a 1-inch air gap in between that. And the ceiling was just aluminum. So you want to have we've just put in a 1/2-inch foam insulating the stiff boards, cut them, and glued them right up there. There's plenty of liquid nails and glue specific for foam that you can use to just stick those up there, cut them in nice, and that has proved beautiful for insulation. And what you need to figure out is what you want to haul and how much space you really want to have. If you've got a V8 engine and you can haul something that's 8 feet wide and you want to put the extended mirrors on, go for it. Especially if you're in a power chair. The extra 1.5 feet of width you'll very much appreciate for turning around and bed space. The thing I did was got a 7-foot wide one. I don't need the extended mirrors. I used to have a 26-foot fully wilderness trailer, and that was wonderful, but you had to have a V8 engine and something with real guts to tow the 4,800 pounds empty. And that has a steel frame, etc., etc., square front, a lot of wind resistance. This baby with the V-nose and the aluminum, 1,800 pounds, it tows beautiful up and down hills. You don't need a tranny cooler if you're wondering about that. A lot of little things go away once you simplify and keep your weight down. So the length, 16 feet. I was considering going 14 feet. Just so we could fit my 14-foot canoe inside. I went with 16 feet to give me a little more room, and I'm glad I did. The extra 2 feet makes the back end, where I tow some of my toys, it gives me a 4-foot area behind the bed that I can leave some of my bigger toys back there. I also carry with me a lot of times a hand cycle that can fit anywhere in the aisle, and I take a electric Synergy electric add-on that just bolts on, and I can show you that. That's a wonderful little thing for me with a blown shoulder, moving around the campsites that sometimes are not so flat or level or have a lot of roots. So considering that, I would give yourself a little bit extra if you're going to need. I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, Charlie, you haven't talked about the bathroom yet. Well, there are a million solutions to bathrooms. I've camped with Jeeps with the mattress in the back end, and took a lawn chair and cut the webbing out and put a raised toilet seat on top of that. You can use a milk crate with a raised toilet seat and a bag underneath it. Those are the most simple. You can go up from there. If you have that 4 feet of room behind your bed, you can do any kind of commode, or if you camp at a campground, their rest areas today almost all are somewhat handicapped accessible. Even in Florida, they actually had raised toilet seats in the handicapped accessible stalls. So those were beautiful. Your private shower, you can do what you need to do from A to Z in your own secluded room. So things are getting better out there as far as camping, but you have to decide what it is that you need. If you have a colostomy, you don't need any of that stuff, okay? You can simplify and just deal with the urine. And that can be anything from a hole in the floor to taking it out to a toilet and flushing it, whatever blows your hair back. In closing, there's a few things I neglected to mention. One was underslung spring axles called dropped axles. That was $500 for the build. I also built a folding table in the front of the trailer up by the end of the bed, so you can sit on the bed to eat from the table, or person in a chair can get on the other side of it. Simple folding thing. There were 2 custom cots I had made that were $180. They're 7 feet long and go across the width of the trailer and drop into little U wood holders. So very simple, just made with straight pipe. And they're 7 feet long, 30 inches wide, very comfortable. I just bought an inverter for it, a 2,000 watt inverter, so if you go camping without electricity and you want a few creature comforts, you can run this off your car battery and power most anything at 2,000 watts. The back door of the trailer, the ramp that comes down, that I also modified to make it remote controlled so I can put it up or down by myself, and that runs off a $60 Harbor Freight winch. Remote control is all built in, so very simple add-on. There are a couple other things. My kayak, I didn't mention, that fits right under the bed. I'm looking into folding kayaks, trying to find a good folding kayak for somebody else that comes with me. The trailer, I didn't mention, also has 12 volt lighting and 110 volt lighting. That was part of that initial 500 that I talked about with the 30 amp setup. And that's about it. There are a lot of things you can consider, but everything you should refine for yourself. So until next time, if there's anything you want to hear, let us know in the comments below, and hit that like button if you want to see more of this content. Until next time, keep your mind full and your bowels empty. Nothing like sailing on a hot summer day. Get a clear ocean breeze and the mist in your face. So get on out here.